Hey everyone, welcome back in to another episode of Winning Bets. Thanks for having me along for the ride. I'm Jason Mattis. You can find me on Twitter at Lock of the Day One. That's at Lock of the Day One. It's really good to have you. Before we kick off what today's episode's about, I've got to show you. I'm wearing the Dortmund jersey. You guys probably heard it was announced a few hours ago. The Bundesliga is coming back, baby. We're getting sports back. The Bundesliga is going to kick off games again on May 16th. So sports are coming back. You may not like soccer, but it's just the beginning, the evolution of them returning back into our lives. So let's go Bundesliga. Way to start it off for everybody. Let's get some sports and some entertainment going back in our life. We need it right now. Don't forget also to follow me at Twitter at Winning Bets Pod. That's at Winning Bets Pod. That's because there hasn't been a lot of content lately to make these videos on my podcast or on the YouTube channel. But I am still putting out winning bets. This past weekend, I won another game in the Belarus Premier League. So now I'm 4-1 in that league. You guys know I have a soccer system. I've talked about it before, so we're not going to talk about it here. But I won another game this past Saturday. It was for $150. Won $150 on one game in the Belarus Premier League. Took my tally now to 4-1. I also went 3-1 on the NFL draft weekend, so I had a successful NFL draft, made you guys some money out there, made me some money. So everything's going good on that front. Today's topic here doesn't involve any money or doesn't involve bets. It's one of the free games. You guys know that we do a lot of these free fantasy sport games. We got a guy saying we need the English Premier League next. Right there with you. I think it will be La Liga. It's announced that they're going to come back, but Premier League is going to be right around the corner. I think we'll get that one in June, and then we'll be able to bust out the Man U jersey. There we go. The fantasy games that we talked about the Yahoo. We've talked about ESPN Streak for the Cash. MLB Beat the Streak. This one here is the Fox Super Bet 6, where they ask 6 questions. It's really, this one here is 6 easy questions. Some of these ones are head scratchers, some contests that they throw up. But this one here, it's going to be easy. We can make some money. The dollar amounts range. This one's going to be for $1,000. There's already 30,000 entries, so maybe there's not going to be, when you split the prize amongst the winners that get all the 6 questions right, maybe it's not going to be that big amount. So this one here, I've kind of talked about, you got to pick the right answers. This one we may gamble a little bit, and we'll get into the 6 questions. But make sure you go ahead, download that app. It locks at 3 p.m. Central Time, so you got a little bit of time to get your picks in and win $1,000 with me. So let's jump into it. The 6 questions. So what they're doing here on this contest is they've got 8 video games and a March Madness bracket style, and they'll post polls on Twitter. People will vote, and then whoever gets the most votes will advance on to the next round. They've got it broken down into like a baseball section, a football section. They've got any other sports, and then they've kind of got where they've got like a basketball, a mixture of sports. So that takes us to the first question on the Fox Bet Super 6 contest, which is which game will advance to the next round. You've got MVP Baseball 2005 versus Backyard Baseball. If we recall back in 2005, Manny Ramirez was on the cover of that game, folks. Manny Ramirez on the cover. That's when the Red Sox were good. They're winning World Series. Manny Ramirez was on fire back in those days, hitting all the home runs, providing a lot of entertainment with his antics. He was a lot of fun. When I looked that up to see who was on the cover, it was a nice surprise to see him on there. And then when I looked up Backyard Baseball, I didn't even know Backyard Baseball. I play video games like you guys do. We've all played games. I could not even recall what Backyard Baseball was. It was more of a like a cartoon animated version of baseball video game. So because MVP Baseball is going to have the recognition, people are going to remember, maybe not remember who was on the cover, but they'll know it kind of has an EA Sports feel because it's an EA Sports game. That one's going to win. That one's going to advance. Like I said, don't even know what Backyard Baseball was. I wouldn't expect people to bet that one. And in fact, 92% of the people are on MVP Baseball. So go ahead and lock that one in with me. The next game that they've got is NBA Jam versus NBA Street Volume 2. This is another one. I'd heard of NBA Street Volume 2, but I definitely had to go look it up to see exactly what it was. It was more of this NBA game where it's kind of like in your local park, kind of a setting, not in a gym. And we all know NBA Jam, right? Who's sitting there right now saying that they don't know what NBA Jam is? Nobody. We all know NBA Jam when you jump way up into the gym and you come flying down through the basket. The ball's on fire. The players, gets one or like three of those baskets in a row. Everybody here is going to answer NBA Jam. It's only got 82% of the votes, but that's going to go up before this contest locks. Go ahead, take NBA Jam. Everybody, come on, you remember that. Jumping out of the gym, ball's on fire. You're sitting there, you're doing all the twisties and the twirlies as you slam the ball through the rim. That game was a lot of fun, so let's take that one. The next one they've got is Techno Bowl versus NCAA football. 84% of the people are on NCAA football. You heard me mention a little while ago that I think, this is going to be a contest where you could have a lot of people get all the questions right. So if you want to maybe go a little bit different to see if you can do one, then, this is, I think, the question you're going to do it. Remember, this is Techno Bowl, which everybody played Techno Bowl. Techno Bowl was the game that really got the sports, industry going in terms of video games. Yeah, the graphics weren't great, but it brought the sports community together to the video game scene. I think people will give to Techno Bowl respect that it deserves. And I think people will vote that, even though 84% of the people are on NCAA. I think in the Twitter poll, in the Twitter universe, people will go Techno Bowl. And keep in mind, it's up against NCAA football 14. So that means a large portion of the people who played that game 6 years ago, let's say you're 10 years old, let's say you're 9, you're 11, you can't participate in this game because it's for 18 and up. So everybody who played Techno Bowl can participate in this Fox Bet Super 6 game. Not everybody who played NCAA football 14 can participate in this contest. So that's going to lose some votes right there. So take Techno Bowl. It's a classic game. We all remember it. And that one's going to win. I'm telling you right now, that one's going to win. And then on the cover of NCAA 14 was Michigan. Michigan was on the cover of NCAA 14. That program has been good forever. I don't even know how Michigan snuck on the cover of NCAA 14. Yeah, there you go, VTU Mouth. The Techno Bowl was what started the football game craze. This guy knows what he's talking about. VTU Mouth knows what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to the 84% of the people that have selected NCAA football 14 on that app. Take Techno Bowl. You'll be a winner with me. The fourth question on the app is WWF No Mercy versus Mario Kart. I remember playing a wrestling game on the Nintendo console back in the day. I couldn't remember which game it was, so I looked this one up. Maybe it was No Mercy. I really have no clue. But everybody plays Mario Kart. Everybody plays Mario Kart, whether it's the race kart series or the battle box with you versus your buddy and popping their balloons and hitting them 4 times. Everybody wins Mario Kart. Yeah, Mario Kart was maybe easy. Even on the highest setting, what was it, 150cc or 200cc, you probably finished first, or at worst, probably second every time. But you still had to be on your game. You couldn't have a bad lap. You couldn't have a bad few turners. That game was challenging, even though it was sort of easy. Mario Kart, though, everybody loved it. Don't take WWF No Mercy. You'll lose that one. 72% of the people right now are on Mario Kart because they know that that's a winning bet. All right, so the fifth and sixth questions, obviously those are the head-to-head matchups. Fifth and sixth. Fifth is most total votes. So which of those 4, content, or which of those 4 games going head-to-head, which of those is going to get the most total votes? I'm going with the most popular sport, football. Football. You've got baseball, basketball, football, and then obviously the mixed bag there of wrestling and Mario Kart up against each other. I actually think Mario Kart's going to win this whole contest. That's how much I believe everybody loved playing Mario Kart and still loves playing Mario Kart. I got a Wii in the other room, and I still play Mario Kart to this day. Love Mario Kart. But in terms of which games are going to get the most popular sports, when Fox Bet, puts these polls out and they hashtag football and they hashtag NCAA, football is the best sport in terms of popularity. We know that. So I think that question alone, that poll on Twitter will generate the most responses. So I've gone ahead and taken the football, the Techno Bowl versus NCAA 14 is the one that's going to get the most votes. That one's actually only at 14% right now. The NBA is leading the contest at 77%, but this is another question. The prize pool is only $1,000. There's 30,000 entries. We got to go a little bit off the map here a little bit. So let's go ahead and take that 14%er. And I think that's right. It's the most popular sport. It's going to generate the most interest. And then the last and final question is which of the poll questions is going to have the largest margin of victory? I think it's not going to be football here on this one because the Techno Bowl and the NCAA football were both really good games. I mean, we know that NCAA was more advanced. The gameplay was better. The graphics were better. But Techno is going to take away a lot of those votes away. So that one's going to be pretty close. The baseball one, I don't really quite remember backyard baseball. Again, I already said that. But it's baseball. It's not going to generate a whole lot of interest. The Mario Kart one, it comes down to Mario Kart. How bad is Mario Kart going to beat the WWF No Mercy? And how bad is NBA Jam going to beat NBA Street Volume 2? And when I sit there and think about it, there is a pretty large wrestling community. But when it comes down to basketball, I couldn't even remember the Street Volume 2 game. I played video games growing up as a kid. A lot of us did. I couldn't quite remember it, but I fall back to we all played the NBA Jam game. Like I said, you were literally jumping, out of the gym on that one, and then your character goes out of the screen, then comes flying back down in the screen. The ball is on fire going through the rim. That image there makes you stick out in your mind. So I think the one that's going to have the largest margin of victory is going to be the NBA Jam. And there's V2U Mouth again right there chiming in. My man's with me. My man wants to win $1,000. V2U Mouth wants to win $1,000. You want to win $1,000. Let's win it together. So let's go over the picks again. We've got the MVP Baseball 2005 beating Backyard Baseball. We've got NBA Jam beating NBA Street Volume 2. We've got Techno Bowl with an upset over NCAA football based on the percentages. We've got Mario Kart beating WWF No Mercy. Which one's going to generate the most votes? Come on, people. Let's go with the best sport out there. Let's go with football. And the largest margin of victory, I've got NBA Jam. That's another one that's coming in at 10%. So if we can get that one to hit, actually, if we get all of these to hit, we're going to get a good amount of money because we've got a 16% percentage one, a 14 percentage one, and a 10 percentage one. So we'll be sitting pretty good. We'll maybe win $20 of this, maybe $1,000. I'll take it. That's free money that we can add to our pile, and we can win money winning bets. Sports are coming back, people. Sports are coming back. We can add this to our bankroll, flip it because you're following me on Twitter at Winning Bets Pod. That's at Winning Bets Pod. Don't forget, sports are coming back. Let's add this money to our bankroll, and let's go get it. All right. Thanks for chiming in, guys. Thanks for watching this. Again, got to follow me on Twitter. I don't know when we'll have enough content to jump back on here. We do get the Bundesliga coming in. Obviously, I own the jersey. Soccer is my number one sport. I have the soccer system. It wins at an 89% win rate right now. So once we do get soccer, I'll be making videos. But until then, I still got the Belarus League. I've got Russian table tennis I've made a bet on. We've got some other things here. So follow me on Twitter. Let's win some money. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay healthy out there.